presidential candidates duke it out for key battle states. Both are upping the ante with their campaign ads, with Donald Trump dropping up to $10 million on his biggest ad buy yet. But which candidate is more effective in their messages? Joining us to grade the two candidates is Lee Carter. Lee, we want to hear your take on these ads, because this is it. We're in countdown mode right now. Let's listen to these two ads. We kick it off right now with Trump's ad.
In Hillary Clinton's America, the middle class gets crushed. Spending goes up. Taxes go up. Hundreds of thousands of jobs disappear. It's more of the same, but worse. In Donald Trump's America, working families get tax relief. Millions of new jobs created. Wages go up. Small businesses thrive. The American dream achievable. Change that makes America great again. Donald Trump for president.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Okay, Lee, what a grade do you give this Trump ad?
So I give it a B-. Now, it's not going to hurt him, but it certainly doesn't stand out from other political ads, in my opinion. I think that his ad on national security that was out last week was much, much more effective. I think the fear in those places plays much better. I think he had an opportunity here that was just frankly missed. So, in my opinion, he could have used some kind of policy that stands out, that would have people talking. In this way, I think it's just a very solid, well, he's going to create jobs, better economy, but there's nothing that, like, people are going to have conversations about in it. I think it's just sort of...
And she said so many things that he could have used in an ad, like, I'm going to, cut every coal job, or I'm going to add on Obamacare, or I'm going to add on to Dodd-Frank. Those are the kinds of things which would resonate with people, right? He didn't use anything she said.
But that's the gist of my question. Do you define, as a candidate at this point in the election cycle, do you run those ads? Do you define yourself, or do you attack? Because last week it was about attacking one another in the most vicious ways, not even in ads.
Yeah.
That KKK ad.
Well,
that was insane.
This is an equal split attack and providing a vision, and so it's a little bit like a whiplash, right? But I think you're right. If he was going to use some fear tactics in the beginning, which is what he did here, he could have been more specific. He could have used her words against him. She could have done a lot of things that make you question her more than he did here. This lacked specificity, which is a criticism of Donald Trump in general.
Let's look at Clinton's ad right now. This is the latest from Hillary Clinton.
Have to lose. You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs.
Look at my African American over here.
Trump management was charged with discriminating against African Americans and breaking federal law.
I have a great relationship with the blacks. I've always had a great relationship with the blacks.
What the hell do you have to lose?
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
So, interesting, she did what he didn't do. She used his words against him.
That's right.
What's your grade?
This one I give an A-. Okay. I actually think it's a very effective ad. And I think one of the things that's happened is we forget all of the things that have happened up to this point. And so we have a really short memory. We keep going on to the next thing. And so what she's done very effectively is just reminded us of those moments. The news cycle just moves so fast that you forget. And this is like she's going to just nail them one after another and remind us of the things that make you not want to give Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. I think it was a really smart ad.
And it's interesting. You pointed out he went negative and positive at the same time in his ad. She clearly saves one set of ads for negative, the other set for positive. Which of those two is more effective? I mean, do they both have merits, or how do you make the choice between them?
I think they both have merits. And I hate, everybody says they hate the attack ad, but when you're trying to get to Election Day, you're trying to get people a reason not to push that button or pull that lever, or however it is that you vote in your state. And so it can be really effective even though we hate them. Now, the question is, and I think Hillary Clinton has very effectively gone on the offensive here. She's attacking Donald Trump. She's trying to bait him. We were talking earlier about some of her attacks where the attack ad might not be that effective, but it's just like bait in front of Donald Trump. And I think he has done a good job for the last 10 days of not taking the bait. very, very, different Donald Trump than we've seen before.
How critical are the debates? The New York Times actually has a really interesting piece today about debate prep and how the Clinton campaign is doing research to try and needle Trump during the debates, even talking to the ghostwriter from Art of the Deal. And then Trump, on the other hand, this is the New York Times reporting, says that he did not want to take part, at least so far, in mock debates with a Clinton stand-in. And it's just interesting how, because they both see the critical importance of these debates coming up in terms of defining themselves and one another.
I think after the first debate, it's going to be one of the most critical moments in the campaign so far. And I think that he should be preparing. I mean, he's not been in this one-on-one dynamic. We were talking about that. The other thing is, debating a woman, whether we like gender roles or not, is a very different thing than standing up there next to Chris Christie. It's the bottom line is, it is. Yeah. And he needs to understand how to do that. I think that it's going to be, all eyes are going to be on this debate, probably more so than we've ever seen before. And people are still changing their mind. We've seen it in the polls that more than 50% of people have changed their mind on who they're going to support over the last 6 months. And so we've got weak support. When you've got, we've got likability numbers that are low, we've got a lot of people who traditionally would go Republican who aren't. If you look at the Catholic vote right now, Hillary Clinton's got that in the bag. That hasn't happened in years. And so,
is that right?
And so I think one of the things that we really have to, we should be really focused on is you can change people's mind in these debates. He could seem reasonable. He's got a picture of the things that a lot of people want. We want jobs. We want tax relief. We want to, we want a safer America. We want a stronger America. That's his message. That's the core of it. Hillary Clinton's message is sort of garbled. That people don't really know. When you think about policies, what is she all about?
Yeah.
She's a policy wonk. So what is, if you go on her website, you can see she lists every policy starting with A, Alzheimer's, and you go down 7.
I've laughed about, I've laughed about that. It's like about the hoof soaring. She has a policy about cracking down on treating horse hooves with chemicals to change their gaits. That's on the website.
So when it's all this stuff out there, it's like, well, what do you stand for? Because it's too much stuff.
It's too much
real
stuff.
quick, this is a big primary day. What are the races that we need to be focused on?
Well, I think McCain is going to be a big, McCain it's a big statement on the establishment versus the underdog. I think it's a key indicator of how people are going to vote. And what we've been seeing is that the underdog has been over-indexing, like under-indexing in the polls. So he's only 4 points ahead. He hasn't broken the 50% mark. So I think there's a chance that McCain's seat is at risk. I think Rubio is going to take it, and I think Debbie Wasserman Schultz, I think she's going to underperform than where she was. She's probably still going to take the race, but I think that she's going to take a hit based on what just happened in the DNC, and she should.